It is counterintuitive to think that at this point in the evolution of devices to listen to music and to make music, we will go back to something that was invented in the 50s and 60s. These technologies, cassette, vinyl, etc., these formats, are adding something else to the listening experience. I feel like I've been involved with tapes for a long time, which is weird because I'm, younger than most people that have been involved with tapes for a long time. When I went to do college in Córdoba, in Argentina, I started being part of these indie music scenes. I started working in media, writing in blogs and magazines about this indie culture that I was very interested in and involved with. At least 2 of those labels started producing cassettes. And I'm talking 2013, 2014. We made an article about one of these labels and I was like, wow, this is so cool. I didn't know coming into my doctorate that I was going to focus on that, but then I was like, why not? I really love this. I've been a fan of and a collector of tapes for a decade now. I just kind of meshed those things together and eventually did my doctoral dissertation about that. I argue that these physical things that we once took for granted help us connect to music and through music different than the ways that today's streaming services allow. The main question that I had coming into this project was what is the role of the cassette now? We don't need it. So why are labels putting the work of materializing this music? It says this mattered to someone enough that they put effort into taking it out of the cloud and put it into something that someone may or may not buy. But it's now part of a catalog, it's part of a history that a label tells. All of these things add layers of meaning and value to music productions. So we can think of music as something that is not inherently valuable, but that is made valuable with all of these tiny practices. It's a very interesting kind of value production and circulation that is based on connecting with others and less so about making profits. Things in Argentina started to get a little rougher in terms of the economy, and so a lot of labels that maybe weren't thinking about tapes at the beginning suddenly saw tapes as a viable option to materialize music. And so suddenly there was this spread or a flourishing of tapes across many different genres. A lot of them are taking the time to actually spend hours pushing buttons on tape recorders, designing the cover art, this kind of artisanal value that goes into this labor. It's a lot of what people are appreciating when they're buying tapes. And even though things are getting more expensive and more expensive, the tapes continue to be very affordable. As an ethnomusicologist, what I do is ethnography. And doing ethnography means I hang out with the labels and I talk to them and I see how they live and I see how expensive things are and how they're actually struggling. I stand by them in the merch table where 20 people come and only one of them buys something. That lets me appreciate and grasp how nuanced these kind of alternative economies are. My new dream is I want to write about the work of independent labels in South America, and how they're able to do all the wonderful things that they do with very limited resources and with just the care that they put into music and valuing the music. That's what labels do. They create value. And I think that is something that is worth celebrating.